Hey guys, happy Friday. I hope everyone has had a great week and is enjoying their holiday season. I am home by myself for a few hours tonight and I decided that I would film a little makeup tutorial because I love doing makeup and I thought I would share with you all. I actually took a break from wearing makeup this week. I don't know what it was about New York, but my skin did not like it. I didn't have any breakouts or anything, but it was just so oily. I mean, the air is probably really dry or something. But anyway, so I took a break from wearing it all week, and now I'm kind of feeling sad, and I want to do my makeup again. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this, and message me if you have any questions about any products. I'll try and share everything with you, and share like my tips and why I choose the products I choose. But if I forget anything and you want to know, just send me a message. Okay, so my face is clean. I just washed it, and the first thing I do after I wash is I use toner. The one I like is the Thayer's Witch Hazel. There's a bunch of different ones, but they all pretty much work the same. There's some with rose, there's some with aloe. This is just one that I had in my inventory, so this is the one that I use. They're great because they're alcohol free. They don't dry out your skin. I've always been kind of on the fence about whether or not I really think toner is worth it. To me, it doesn't really balance out the pH of my skin, which is like supposedly what it's supposed to do, but I just like it because even though I exfoliate and I use another gentle cleanser, I still always have dirt remaining on my face. Personally, I think part of it is because I have larger pores and they just capture a lot more dirt. So I really like toner because it helps clean off any of the remaining dirt or makeup that's left on your face. So this is my step 1 post cleanse. And I like to get it everywhere. I do my neck, I do my eyelids, my eyebrows. I mean, believe it or not, there is dirt everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, that's disgusting. And I just clean my face. Okay, step 1 is done. I apologize for the bad lighting. It's nighttime. I don't have a beauty light like all those beauty bloggers. I don't have the money to spend on that, so I'm using ambient lighting in my living room. Okay, so step 1, tone. Step 2, moisturize. I like to use a serum first. I'm really fortunate. I don't really have sensitive skin on my face. I am sensitive to some scented products, but most sample products that I get, if I order beauty products or anything, I can try. So I'm currently using this H2O Beauty Serum that I got in a sample batch with some makeup that I ordered, and so I like to use this first on my face. It just really helps to penetrate the pores and get deep in your skin, and it helps prep your face for moisturizer. So I like to use a brush when I apply anything on my skin. This is kind of a new thing that I've started doing. I've seen a lot of beauty bloggers that do this, and it just helps, it helps alleviate wrinkling because you're not pulling on your skin with your fingertips. I mean, I think it's kind of too late for me because I'm in my 30s now, and I didn't learn this cool tip until now. So, but I guess better late than never, right? So I apply this all over my face, and then I just let it kind of soak in for a second. You don't want to layer products on top of each other when your face is still wet or moist from prior products. So just let it sink in for a second, and then the next thing I go in with is moisturizer. Again, I'm pretty lucky. I can pretty much use whatever I want. I have really oily skin, which people tend to think that the last thing you should use is moisturizer, but it's actually the opposite. If you have oily skin, it's because your pores are larger and there's really no getting around it. I've tried every product under the sun, and you have oily skin. You just have to figure out how to work with it instead of against it. So I actually like really moisturizing moisturizers. I feel like those actually help my skin and make it produce less oil than it normally would. So I actually got a sample pack of Glam Glow, and I love their products. They have really good masks, they have really good moisturizers, they're really gentle on the skin. And so I actually got a sample pack, and this came in it. It's called Glam Glow Glow Starter, and it's an illuminating moisturizer, so it's really good. It has a little bit of a shine in it, so if you have dry skin and you want a little bit of like that dewy look, this is really good for that, and it's also really moisturizing. So I take a little bit of this on my hand, and you really don't need a ton, especially if you're applying with a brush. A little bit goes a long way. So I just take a little bit of this and I apply it all over my face. Dab, dab, dab. And just be sure you don't apply these products onto your eyes. Something I learned from my esthetician is that the skin on your eyes, I mean, duh, but you know, the skin on your eyes is different than the skin on the rest of your face, and it absorbs product differently. And so if you use a product that's formulated for, you know, this part of your face on your eyes, it's not going to have the same effect, and it might have a bad effect. If you ever put stuff on your eyes and you have a reaction but you don't have it on the rest of your face, it's probably because it's not meant to go on your eyes. So your eyes definitely are a thinner area. They have thinner skin, and so they're just more sensitive, and so you want to make sure you're using products that are right for the eye area. Okay, so while those products are soaking in, the next thing I do is I go in with an eye cream or an eye moisturizer. I don't really believe that anything out there that says it's formulated to help with anti-aging and wrinkling and whatnot, I don't believe that any of those work. Even retinol or whatever that crap is, I don't believe it. But I still think it's really good to moisturize the area. It's just really good for your skin. So something that I recently got turned on to that I love is this Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. You can see that. I just really love it. It does help brighten, and it just makes my skin feel really good. So I just take a little bit of this and go under my eye and on the side right here where I wrinkle my laugh lines. And then I also go on my eyelid. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I like to do that. It just feels really good. And especially in the winter when the air is so dry, I just think it's good to really moisturize every inch of your face. Okay, so moisturizing is done. The next step in my routine is to prime. And I kind of like to use a couple of different primers because I have larger pores. A primer that's kind of like a pore filling primer or pore minimizing, those are kind of the best ones to use. Smashbox has a really good primer, their Photo Finish primer. That one's a really good one. All the beauty bloggers use that one. So if you're looking for a good one, I recommend that one, especially for enlarged pores. If you don't have oily skin, you could probably pretty much use anything, but you want to use something that's a little less mattifying, and those Smashbox ones are more mattifying. This one I actually really like. It's by Too Faced. It's called Hangover. It's got coconut water, and it's made for skin reviving. It smells heavenly, and it's really moisturizing. So if you have dry skin, no, Otis. if you have dry skin, it's a really good option for you. So I go in with this one first, and I just take a teeny bit on my fingers. Excuse this one. When I got home from New York, my dogs were pretty excited, and they hadn't really been exercised in a week because of the weather, and they got into a fight, and when I grabbed Bella off of Otis, I halfway ripped my nail off, so it's in a Band-Aid cast right now. Okay, so I put my primer on, and that's just, I don't know if I necessarily need to use 2 primers. I just really like how this one makes my skin feel. It does make it feel revitalized, and it just smells so good. Seriously, you guys, I recommend this just because it smells delicious. Okay, the next thing I go in with is my actual primer. For me, pore minimizing is the primer I would use. If you don't have large pores, you only really need like one of these things. So right now I'm kind of alternating between different primers, but the one I'm currently using that I got in as a sample in one of my makeup orders is this Pores No More Luminizer Primer by Dr. Brandt. You can see that. So it is, like it says, luminizing, so it does give a little bit of a glow. And even though I have oily skin, and like the whole point of my routine is to like diminish the oiliness, I like to add it back with makeup. I just feel like it looks pretty when it's makeup. When it's a natural oil, it just looks dirty. That's just my opinion. So I prime with this. It's also it's a good pore minimizer. It does fill your pores without clogging them. So I really like this, and a little bit goes a long way. You really don't need that much. I mean, I just take like this teeny little amount, and I just rub it between my fingers and kind of get it warmed up. And then I put it in all the places where I tend to get oily, and mostly my T-zone, like right here, on my cheeks here, around my nose, and on my chin. And I also do rub it up this way a little bit, just because, you know, you want to glow. When you add highlighter to your face, you want the glow up here. And so I do rub it in up there a little bit. And I probably should be using a brush for this, but I'm not. I also go up and down my nose, because another place that you highlight is your nose. And then I do my chin, and then my forehead. And you don't have to do an illuminizing primer. There's plenty of them out there that don't have a luminizer in them. So if you don't like the dewy highlighted look, then I would pick one of those instead. Okay, priming is done. So the next thing that I like to do my eyebrows. And that used to be the last thing that I did, which is so funny, but I've kind of feel like it helps me with my eyeshadow. It helps to just kind of draw a border almost across like my eyeballs so that I can better put on my eyeshadow, I guess, for lack of better terminology. So my Ride or Die eyebrow product that I love is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz pencil. I'm trying to get this to focus. It's not, I'm sorry. Anyway, I just love this. I like the thinner pencil. They also have a thicker one that kind of has a triangle shaped pencil on the end, and I don't really understand that one. I don't like it that much. I never use it unless I run out of this. It's like a last resort kind of thing. But this one I like. It's the thinner pencil. I use the color medium brown. I like my brows to be, I mean, you can see mine are kind of the same color as my roots. And I'm really lucky because I have a lot of brows. I never really got into I was kind of a tomboy growing up, so I never was into like grooming. So I still have all my brow hair. And I really like a little bit of a darker brow. I just think it really makes a statement. It really frames out your eyes, kind of draws the attention there. So I like to do a darker brow. So medium brown is probably like a shade darker than most people would choose with my brow color. You know, I have friends that like a lighter brow, so they choose more of a light tone. It's really up to you. I mean, if you have platinum blonde hair and you don't like a dark brow, then you're gonna want to go something lighter. It just really depends. So I really like this product. You know, there's a million out there. I know Desi just did a collab with Benefit, her Bomb Ass Brows, and all of the makeup bloggers are raving about it. So I am putting that on my Christmas list because I really want to try it. And even though I went to Ulta today, they did not have it yet. So it's just a sign I have to wait till Christmas, but I'm dying to try it because I love the eyebrows, love them. Okay, so the first thing that I do, I take a little spoolie, brush like this. This brow pencil actually comes with one on the end. I don't like to use that one. It works fine. It works just like this one. I don't like to use it because it's flimsy. I used to use it and it broke. This piece here is not strong. So I just tend to keep this cap on because I don't want a broken spoolie. I guess it doesn't matter, but anyway, it's not a great product. It's fine if you're traveling, you don't want to take all your brushes with you, but I recommend a separate one. This one is a Benefit one, of course. They're great at brow products. So this is a Benefit one, but I mean, every single makeup brand makes a spoolie. So it's just, I think I got this in a Birchbox or something, and I've had it ever since. So the first thing I do is I brush up my brows. You just want to make sure that your hairs are all kind of running the same direction. And I like to brush them up a little bit. Let me see if I can. I like to brush them up so that they're almost going like outside of their comfort zone, if you will. I just think that it makes them look fuller when you draw them in. If you don't like a fuller brow, you can just brush them the way that they normally go. I just like a fuller brow, so I like to brush them up a little bit more and just really give them their full volume and full potential. Oh, excuse me. So I don't know if you guys can hear, but I'm playing Christmas music in the background. When we got back from New York, I was just in like full Christmas mode. I don't know if you guys have been there at Christmas time, but it's amazing. I wish it would have snowed. It snowed like a week before we got there, and of course it was too warm, so all the snow melted. But it was so awesome. I mean, I'm honestly not a huge city person per se. I mean, I would never choose to live in a city. Personally, I just think it's insane all the time. Any city you go to is like a tourist trap. I mean, my sister lives in San Francisco, and granted, there's more touristy areas than other. Like if you go to Union Square, or if you go to Fisherman's Wharf and all that stuff, Ghirardelli Square. I mean, obviously those places are gonna be a little bit more touristy than, you know, the residential areas, but I don't think I could deal with that. And, you know, the amount of people that are riding the trolley, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's cool. It's like nostalgic for people, but I'm not into it really. But New York was awesome. You know, we did all the touristy stuff. We went to Rockefeller Center. The tree was up. People are ice skating. That was really cool. It was touristy, but I feel like it's a must-see when you go to the city. Sorry, just making sure Otis isn't chewing on something he shouldn't, because that's kind of his MO. So yeah, we did Rockefeller. Our first night there, we went to the Rockettes, and that's really cool because they change their show depending on the season. So of course, right now they have a Christmas show. That was awesome. Just a really cool thing to see, and I feel like it's one of those things that it's like an honor to be a Rockette. I mean, I was thinking about it when we went to the show, how many hours these women must practice for these to get their whole performance as perfect as it is. I mean, it's amazing. I don't know if you guys know anything about the Rockettes, but they are known for their like precision and their how in sync they are. I mean, literally not a single person messed up the entire night. That's almost unheard of. So that was amazing. I really enjoyed that. I also love seeing shows. Like I love Broadway. I love performances. It just is so cool because you get to experience other people's talents, things that they do for work and they work their ass off for. I feel like I should probably have more of appreciation for professional sports because of this, but I don't. I feel like being an athlete is not the same as being a performer. I feel like it takes a lot more, I guess it doesn't take a lot more hard work, but it's just, I mean, you really have to, you don't really get the opportunities to lead into your career like athletes do. I mean, think about, you go into college and you get to play on your college team, but if you're a performer, you don't really have that option. I mean, your major is that, but that doesn't mean that you are, but you don't have, people aren't coming to like recruit you. Like you're not shown on television, you know, college football, they don't have that for ballet or dancers or singers or whatever. It's not really a thing. So I just really appreciate the hard work and the talent of people that are on Broadway and in shows and all of that jazz. No pun intended. Okay, brows are on. The next thing that I do, I actually just got this. I have one, but it's a different color, and I think it's a little too dark, shockingly, but it just doesn't look good when I put it on. So I'm going to try this one today. It's the Gimme Brow. This is the shade 2. I have 3, and I think it's just a little dark. So we're going to see how this one works. It just kind of helps. It's a gel. It's like a tinted gel. So it just helps to fill in any holes that the pencil may have missed. And it also just helps to shape your brows and hold them in place once you've drawn everything on. So, we'll see. All right, brows are on. Looking good. They're actually bolder than I usually do, and I like them. It's all about the brow, guys. It puts you on a good start. Okay, next step is priming the eyes for eyeshadow. I like to do my eyes before my skin, just in case you have fallout from your eyeshadow. Then you can just wipe it off and then put your foundation on. It sucks if you have fallout and you've already put your face on and then you're trying to wipe it and it's ruining your makeup. So, and I kind of alternate between actual eye primers and concealers. A lot of the beauty bloggers that I follow like to use concealer. They don't like eye primer for some reason. So I'm giving it a shot. I'm trying concealers, seeing if it differs at all. So far, not really any different. Maybe just a little bit better at I feel like the eyeshadows maybe stick a little bit better, but I've always used the MAC Paint Pot eye primer and I really like it. But I'm trying concealers. Right now I've been using the Milk Concealer. I bought this originally for under my eyes and I felt like it didn't really have enough coverage, but I really am liking it for eye prime. So that's what I'm gonna do. And when I do this, I literally just put one dab across one eye and, oops, sorry, blocking you guys. One dab on the other eye. Okay, and then I just take, you can take whatever kind of brush that you want. I personally like to use one like this. Here, let me see if I can. It's just like this. It's just a flat brush, small. This is a Morphe M124. So I like to use this one. The other one that I have used is this guy. It's just a little bit bigger. I have no idea what this is. I got it in a Birchbox or Ipsy or something, and the label has rubbed off. So all I can tell is that it says concealer. So it's for concealer. Anyway, I digress. So I'm gonna use my Morphe brush and I'm just gonna pat the concealer all over my eye. You wanna make sure you take it up here too, and then run it along underneath your brows. Helps to carve out the shape and set a good base for your eyeshadow. Okay. All right. So if you guys don't watch any beauty bloggers, but you love makeup, I highly recommend it. You know, one of the things that I've learned from watching them is that they actually don't know everything, and the way that they are, you know, they try a lot of stuff that they see. You know, they watch a lot of other beauty bloggers, and so they are trying techniques that they're seeing from other people, and I think that's really cool. And so, you know, a lot of stuff that I do now are things that I've learned from them. So it's great. It's a really good community, and everybody supports each other, and it's feel good, you know, I love that. Okay, so little trick that I learned from one of the bloggers I follow. Who's that? Oh, nope, all right. Anyway, a trick I learned from one of the bloggers: after you do your prime, you just dab with a beauty blender, just to help set everything and pick up any extra product that you don't need. Okay, the other thing that you do, and some people do this, some people don't. I actually like to, because I have really oily eyelids, which is like a bizarre thing to say, but I have oily eyelids. So I like to take a pressed powder to set my eyelids before I put shadow on. The one I'm currently using that I love is the Kat Von D powder. It's just the translucent powder. It's called Lock-It Setting Powder. You can get it at Sephora. You can get it from Kat Von D's website, or her beauty website. I'm sure she has a regular website too. Anyway, so I just dab a little bit on there, and then dab on the other eye. Okay. You guys. Bella hates that Otis is smaller than her and he can fit in places. So, current situation. She's trying to squeeze in this tiny hole where all the pillows are. These dogs, you guys. They drive me insane, but they're so worth it. Okay, next up is eyes. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I got a couple new palettes, and they've got some good colors in them. This one's ColourPop. You guys, if you've never used a ColourPop product, I highly recommend them. They are really affordable. Like, you're not gonna break the bank. This palette was like 16 bucks, I think, compared to this Tartist Pro Remix palette, which was, I think, $50. And that's about average for a Tarte palette, I would say. Anyway, so this one has 12 colors, 16 bucks. This one's got a few more, but still, it's like more than double the price. So, I don't know. But Tarte has really good products too. And it smells really good. Anyway, so I'm trying to decide what I want to do for you guys. I'm feeling kind of holiday. So maybe I'll do kind of like a pinky eye. I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna do it. Pink eye. Not pink eye, but pink beauty eye. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do, and something that I've actually always done, but I didn't know was a thing until I started watching beauty vloggers, is to use a kind of a transition shade here in the crease, and you can see like it's already a shadowed area, so you just want to take something that's light in color, lighter in color, that's going to be a good shade that's transition that you can kind of just build on top of. Oftentimes this is going to be a shade that you don't ever really see, or it's really subtle and it just helps to make whatever's on top of it pop. So I'm going to go into my ColourPop Rendezvous palette, and I'm going to use the shade Style and Grace, and that is this pink color right here. It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of like a dusty pink. Okay, anyway, sorry. So I'm gonna use that, and I'm taking, this is a Kylie brush that I got actually when Kylie Cosmetics first became a thing. It came in like a promo kit or something like that, so I have no idea what kind of brush this is. It doesn't have any numbers or letters on it. It's just a Kylie brush. So I'm gonna take that one, tap off the excess, and then, actually, sorry, just gonna lightly put that in my crease. One thing I love about ColourPop is not only their price point, but their products are amazing. You know, their sparkle shadows do have a little bit of fallout in them, but their matte colors are so good. I highly recommend them. And they're cruelty-free and they're vegan. So if you're vegan and you're looking for some good makeup products, ColourPop is the one. I also love that they do so many collabs with beauty vloggers. You know, it's just really cool that they support they support people that are in the industry, and they kind of help them get their face on the map. Is that the expression? But they kind of help them you know, get a name for themselves. And you know, a lot of them already have like quite a following on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, but I just think it's really cool. I love the support of the beauty community. Okay, so just really subtle, just a little pink. It's kind of hard to tell because I have really red undertones in my skin, so with pink eyeshadow it kind of just looks like I already have it. It just looks like my face basically, but it's on there, I swear. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is, what happened to all of my brushes? Okay, next thing I'm gonna take is, let's see, what direction do I want to go? Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do from the ColourPop Rendezvous palette, I'm gonna take Textual. It's this kind of burgundy color right here. I'm gonna take that. Actually, just kidding. I'm gonna take Want You Back. It's this color here. It's kind of a mauve-y pink. It's hard to tell in this light. I apologize again. This is terrible light. I don't have good lighting in my house, especially not at night. So I'm gonna take that color and I'm going to just lay it on top, a little bit lower in the crease. Lay it on top of that lighter pink color. And you wanna make sure that you're using a light hand. I have a hard time with this because I've always just like pressed into my skin, and so now I've just become accustomed to that, and so taking pressure away is very difficult for me. Okay, going back in and getting a little more product for the other eye. So I was talking about New York, and we did all the Christmassy we did all the Christmassy things. We did Rockefeller Center, we did the Rockettes, we did all the shopping. You guys, I have to be honest, I love shopping. Like, I love it. Like, retail therapy, it's a thing for sure, but I cannot stand shopping with my mom and my sister. I love them, but they want to go in every store. Actually, my mom more than my sister, but they like to go in all the stores and they like to shop all around. And luckily in New York, there wasn't so much trying on because you have so much gear on. It's exhausting to even think about taking any of it off, but that's my life when I shop with them. And I'm a type of person, I like to go by myself. I know what I want, I know what I'm looking for. I like to get in, get what I'm going there for, and get out. I don't like to sit around. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna go in with is this, again in the Rendezvous palette. It's this pink color here. It's kind of a berry color. It's called Shake It Off. So I'm gonna go in with that one. And I'm gonna put it on my lid. The nice thing about these eyeshadows is you can layer them and build them for coverage. So you can start off soft and then layer it if you want more. And you know, you can really customize your look because you don't have, I mean, the shadows are pigmented, but they're not so pigmented that, you know, your first swoop you're regretting, you know. I like having a buildable product, especially if you're a beginner, because it's so hard to take away product instead of add it. And if you're, you know, a well-known beauty blogger, if you're a makeup artist, you can work with it if you put too much product on your face. But if you're not a pro, then it can be really daunting when that happens. And if you're satisfied with the rest of your face, it's a bummer if you feel like you have to take it all off. So start small and build. And I'm still using that color. I'm just building it now, kind of building a base. So I don't know if you guys follow beauty bloggers, but there's this thing that they do, and it's called a cut crease. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically taking concealer or a thicker sort of eye primer, and when you go where your shadow is on your lid and you cover up the area, and then you layer more shadow on top of the concealer. And the point of it is to really just make your eyes pop. And it's a cool concept, but I find it to be really difficult to do a cut crease. Oh, sorry, I haven't been telling you guys the brushes that I'm using. This other one that I used in my crease is a Morphe brush. I don't know, it doesn't have a style number. It was part of like a promo pack. So I don't have a style number for it. I apologize. I'm gonna go back into my crease with this second color that I used. Odie, hey, no. So anyway, in New York, we did the shopping. We did go to the World Trade Center site. That was really cool. They've done such an amazing job. And something that I learned on my tour, and I don't know if you guys knew this, if you've ever been and you see little white roses on the names of the people whose names are around the pools, it means it's their birthday. So that's, it's really cool. It's also really sad. But it is neat that they do that. So we did the World Trade Center thing. That was kind of surreal too, because, you know, the last time that we were in New York was in, I think it was May of 2000. So it was a year and a half before 9/11. And we actually went up one of the towers you could go up into, and it had kind of a touristy thing on the very top. Hey, come here. Lettuce. Come here. Anyway, one of the towers, they had a touristy area on the very top floor. And we actually went up there and took pictures, and a few of us, my dad, myself, and I think my aunt or something, we all went up on the actual roof. It overlooked the entire city. It was so cool. So just really surreal to be back there and to know that we were actually in them like a year before all of that happened. I mean, that's kind of crazy. So, oh gosh, sorry. Hey, what are you doing? Anyway, so that was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I'm really glad that we went. Okay. So I think I'm actually going to do a cut crease because I want to do some sparkle here. But the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my dog and wring its neck. I'm just kidding. I'm going to take, okay, pause. Stop. No. Are you wanting this toy? Here, okay. Okay. So first I'm going to take another darker kind of pinky red from the Rendezvous palette. It's this one right here. It looks brown in this light. It's actually kind of like almost like a rusty terracotta, but with a little more pink tone. It's called Textual. I'm going to take that. I'm going to put it right in the outer corner here and kind of blend it over the lid a little bit because I am going to cover that. So I've been listening to, so this week I was telling you guys, I finally got into the Christmas spirit. And I've been listening to Christmas music. And if you guys use Spotify, they have a bunch of, I mean, all the time, they have really great pre-made playlists, but their Christmas ones are pretty good. And they have a ton of options. You know, it's funny, I've liked all their playlists in the past. I'm not super crazy about them this year, and I don't know what it is. I'm not sure why I don't like them very much. But anyway, I'm not super wild about them this year, but I am really liking the country Christmas. I'm pretty partial to country music anyway. My husband hates it. He thinks my family is annoying because every time we're all together, we just listen to country music. But I love country because I feel like it's, I mean, I like it because I feel like it's versatile, but I also just feel like it's good vibes, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to cut crease. Let's see. Do I need to do a cut crease? Actually, we're gonna try and do it without. Okay, so I'm gonna take, so the brush I was using before for the darker color in the outside of my crease here, it was a Morphe M514. I really like this brush, it's a really good brush. It's kind of the perfect size. So for the, I'm gonna take a sparkly color in, which one do I wanna do? Oh yeah, we're just gonna use the Rendezvous palette. In the Rendezvous palette, there's a color called Our Secret, and it's this one here. Kind of hard to see, can't really see the sparkle. A little bit of sparkle. So that it's more sparkly than it looks. And I'm actually gonna take some spray. So, pro tip. When putting shimmer shadows on your eyes, if you don't wanna do a cut crease, it helps to prime the brush with some sort of makeup setting spray. A lot of the bloggers use Fix Plus, Smashbox has a really good one, Urban Decay, I don't really know, I've never used them before, this is gonna be a first timer, but I'm gonna try the all-nighter setting spray. We'll see how this works. And you literally just spray it a few times onto the brush to wet it, and then you dip into, let's see, dip into your color. Saturate the brush, and then you just pat it on your eye. You don't really want to rub it, especially for shimmers, because it can get spotty. So patting it on, even though it takes longer, is the best way to get consistent color. It's the best way to get the shine to be consistent. So amazing, all the things you can learn from YouTube. Like, it's insane. I've literally learned, I've always enjoyed doing makeup, probably since I went away to college, but actually no, that's a lie. When I went away to, nope, that's a lie too. I feel like probably in the last few years, I just really started enjoying doing makeup. And it wasn't until recently that I came across YouTube and discovered that that was even a thing and that there were beauty bloggers. But I always thought that I was like pretty good at doing makeup, and then I found all these vloggers and I've learned so much. It's so amazing. I love it. I love how much I've learned. And I'm learning new things every day. I also like these vloggers because they review products. It's pretty, I mean, they're lucky. They get PR packages, so they get a ton of free stuff. But they review products, and so you can kind of listen to their review if you're not sure, if you're like on the fence about buying something. Okay, so I'll zoom you guys in here. Shimmer is on. Hard to tell, but it's on. And I'm gonna go back in with that Morphe M514 with the that darker color, and I'm just gonna go kind of blend it back over the shimmer a little bit, just to like bring it all together. Hey, no, Otis. No, buddy, come here. Come here, Odie. Okay. I was gonna do a liner, but I'm not sure if I'm feeling it. I'm not sure. Why not? I've never done it on a camera before, so bear with me, guys. So I was using a Tarte liner. For a while I was using Kat Von D, and I just don't really love her liner. So I like to use a gel liner, and it looks like this. It's just kind of like a felt tip marker almost. I don't like Kat Von D's. The one thing I do like about it is it doesn't bleed. You know, if you use a Sharpie on a certain kind of paper and it literally bleeds, certain gel liners do that on your eye. Kat Von D's doesn't do that, which I do like, but what I don't like about it is just not very pigmented. And so you have to go over the line several times to even get the intense black that you want. And I just feel like, what's the point? So, so then I was using Tarte for a while. They have a good one, but that one bleeds a little bit, and it was starting to, you know, if you use like a paint pen and you push down on it to get the ink coming out. So it was starting to do that where it was like gushing out of the end. Sorry, that's a graphic word, but it was doing that. Odie, come here. Come here. Otis. He's scratching at the door. I don't know why. It's the front door. There's nothing out there. Why are you doing that? Come here. Come here. Come here. Anyway, so the thing I didn't like about the Tarte liner is that it was also doing the bleeding. So anyway, I was at the grocery store the other day, and Maybelline actually has decent products, and so I grabbed this one. It's the Maybelline Precise All Day Liquid Liner in black. So I've been using this one. I like it. I mean, it's a liquid liner. So anyway, first time doing this on camera, folks. Bear with me here. Normally I use my other eye or my other hand to pull my skin away, which is probably why I have wrinkles. So I actually read something the other day about wrinkling, and you know, when you watch all these beauty bloggers and read all these articles about wrinkles and how to prevent them, you know, they all say that if you pull your skin a certain way, then it's, you know, your chances of wrinkling are, you know, diminished or whatever. But I read something the other day from a beauty Instagrammer that I follow. She's actually like licensed and constantly researches, and she posted something. She does this thing every couple of days where she posts on Instagram. She'll post a myth, like a myth buster. So the myth, she'll put the myth and then she'll say, you know, true, blah, 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 or false, blah, blah, blah. So she put one the other day that said something about pulling a certain direction on your face will keep you from wrinkling. And it's actually false. She said, wrinkles are wrinkles. Your skin doesn't know what direction it's being pulled. It's just being pulled, and that's all it knows. So you're going to get wrinkles if you're pulling on your skin. And you're going to get wrinkles if you do expressions like this. It's just a part of life. So anyway, I thought it was super interesting because it was, you know, myth debunker. We've all been fooled. Okay, I'm going to be annoying and do this the way that I normally do. Let's see if I can prop this up. I can't do this. I can't do this without my other hand, guys. Oh. Oh. I can't do this without my other hand, so I'm going for it. So for the longest time, I was terrible at doing eyeliner. I still kind of am. I always feel like I can never get I like to do a wing liner every time. And I feel like I can never get the wings the same. I feel like the lines are never the same thickness. And despite all these bloggers who have these like tutorials out there, I still can't learn to do it. So they're probably gonna be lopsided, but it is what it is. So I have to say, I don't know how many of you guys see, look. Oh, you can't tell. They're lopsided for sure. One of my eyes looks higher than the other one. Oh well. This is a video, who cares? I'm not going out in the world. Anyway, so, what was I gonna say? Oh, so I don't know how many of you guys have, you know, been able to travel, especially over to Europe. I'm not sure about Asia. I think they're probably the same way. But public transportation is one of the best things in the world. I wish that it could be as good as it is in Europe, everywhere else, because I prefer public transportation. To be honest with you guys, I just get really sick of driving, and I feel like it's such a hazard. There's so many idiots on the road. I am one of them. I'm an aggressive driver. I fully believe that people are just gonna move out of my way if I tell them to. So, I just think for everyone's safety, we should have public transportation. And that's one of the things that I loved about New York, because they have the trains that run all over Manhattan and actually out into like Brooklyn and Queens and everything. So I just love that. I think it's so cool, and I am such an advocate for it. And Europe is the same way. I mean, you can take a train anywhere and it's so cheap. And so is traveling by plane, actually. It's pretty cheap and pretty easy. Once you're in Europe, you guys, unless you're going to like Russia, although that could have changed, but the last time I was there, you couldn't just travel into Russia. You had to like go through customs. But, Odie, come here. But normally when you get to Europe, you only have to flash your passport when you get into the country, and then you're kind of just like free travel. At the airport it's different, but when you go by train, you can pretty much just do whatever you want. Okay, so I'm done with the top of my eyes. I'm gonna finish the bottom in a little bit. The next step here is gonna be foundation. Sometimes I do a BB cream. Otis, come here, buddy. Come here. I think he thinks his dad's gonna be home soon, and he's not yet. Maybe soon. Anyway, so the next thing that I do is foundation. Sometimes I do a BB cream instead. Sometimes I do BB cream and then this. Sometimes I do a tinted moisturizer. Sometimes I do that and then this. It just depends. And I have a million different products. I will probably do a video for you guys with all the different products I use. I'll kind of break it down and like tell you why I like them and whatnot, but that's not a video for today. So I actually just got this, and I actually used to use it, but I don't really remember how it worked. No, come here. Oh, okay, hi. Hi, say hi to the people. Say hi to the people, Otis. Your eyes are leaking. Anyway, so I just got this. It's the Maybelline Fit Me. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation, and it's for normal to oily skin. And I have oily skin in certain areas, and then but I also can be really dry. So I have combination skin. But I like matte foundations. So I'm trying this one. Normally I buy ones that are really expensive from like Sephora or whatever, but I'm gonna try this one. We're gonna see how it works. I don't even know if I got the right color. The problem with buying stuff at the drugstore is that everything's usually pretty picked over. So anyway, so I put a little bit on my hand, and then I'm gonna use a kabuki brush. Generally, I would use my beauty blender, but I'm gonna use that to soften everything after. So I'm actually gonna take this kabuki brush, and this is a Sonia Kashuk that I got from Target. Target has these, and they're actually really good. I have a few Sonia Kashuks. This other brush that I have, it's a highlighting brush, but I use it for powder and blush and whatnot. It just depends. It's a great brush. I actually really like it. So what are your guys' plans for the holidays? I have to be honest, this time of year, like, it's supposed to be fun, or it's supposed to be festive, but it's honestly, like, so stressful for me, especially since Mitch came into my life. You know, we just both, you know, when you combine families, you have traditions and you have stuff that you have always done with your family, and then you have to combine with the other person, and they have stuff that they've always done with their family. And so it's just a challenge to try and balance the two and to make everyone happy. And you know, my husband his parents are divorced, and they're both remarried, and you know, his sister's married, and you know, they have 2 kids, and so there's just so many dynamics. There's so many people that you want to see and spend time with, and so it just ends up being really stressful trying to juggle everybody. And plus, work for both of us is just crazy this time of year. My husband's a chef, and he works for Cisco, which is you probably have heard of it, but it's a food distribution company, and he's an in-house corporate chef. And this time of year, there's holiday parties, and you know, clients are trying to like do holiday menus or holiday parties for other people, and so it's just crazy busy for him. And then my industry, which is insurance, the end of the year is absolutely insane. Everyone's plans are renewing. It's just a cluster. So anyway, it just tends to be a stressful time. I mean, it always ends up working out in the end, but I'm always kind of happy when it's over. And this year, I'm super excited because we actually just got married at the end of September, and we didn't take a honeymoon right away. We are actually going to be going on our honeymoon. We leave the day after Christmas, and we're going to Cancun, and I am so excited. I can't wait. Okay, foundation is on. It's actually, let's see. It's pretty good coverage. What does this say? It doesn't say what kind of coverage it is. I would say this is like a lighter coverage. I'm actually gonna put more on because I feel like this isn't enough for me. I usually like a little more coverage than this, so I'm gonna put a little bit more on. So do you guys make resolutions for New Year's? Is that like a thing that I know, like, I feel like everyone does. I used to be a resolution person, and then I kind of got to a point where I was like, why am I doing this? I never stick to them. I never try and like actually push through. I usually make it like a month, and then I give up. And of course, you know, working out and getting in the gym, eating healthy, like that's always on my list. And do I ever do it? No. I just don't really enjoy working out. It's not like, I go through spurts where I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to go to the gym. It makes me feel good. But like, they're so short-lived. It's like not even worth it. Okay, so I put my foundation on. I put a couple layers on. We'll see how this works. I'll let you guys know if this is worth getting. I mean, I do like a fuller coverage, but the nice thing about the ones that aren't so full coverage is that you can build them, and they aren't, at that point, they're not thick. A buildable foundation is usually pretty thin, so you're not gonna feel like cakey, like you have a bunch of product on. Okay, so I'm trying a new concealer. I normally use a Too Faced concealer or Shape Tape. I kind of alternate between the two, but I'm gonna try this Urban Decay All Nighter. It's waterproof, which is really good for my oily skin. So we're gonna see how it works. And I don't know, these beauty bloggers, they literally put concealer like all over here. It's like a giant white triangle on their face. And then they put it all up here, down their nose, all around here. Like they're literally covered in concealer. I mean, it's like, why didn't you just do that? So I'm not that type of person. I feel like less is more. You only really need it where you need it. So I do like to put a little bit under my eyes. I literally just do one dot like that. I might do a couple more because I've never used this before. I don't know what the coverage is like. So at most I do 3 like this. And this is like pretty thick, so I feel like this is gonna be a lot. Okay, and then I told you guys before, I have really red undertones in my skin. So I kind of like to put concealer where I get really red, which is my nose, and like, so my nose gets red right around here. My chin gets red. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Am I in your way? Do you want to put makeup on? Do you want to put some makeup on us? Anyway, so I like to put a little bit on my nose and my chin, and like right around my, right here around my nose. And then occasionally, okay, diva, occasionally I'll put it over my brow too. Sometimes I get red there, which is like weird, but it is what it is. So today I'm just gonna do it just a little down my nose and on the tip, and then right around here and on my chin. Don't eat my brushes. Okay, dab. And like, okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is literally all I put on. Just a little there, just a couple dabs. Personally, unless you have a watery concealer, a little bit goes a long way. And you can probably tell I am pink here too, but I'm gonna put powder, and I'm gonna put powder over that, and bronzer and blush, so I'm not gonna worry about caking makeup there. Okay. This is really terrible lighting. Okay. You can lay there if you want to. You can't stand in the way. You can't. He's just an attention hoe. Hi. Bella's jealous. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is set the places that I concealed. Actually, do I wanna do, actually, okay, never mind. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna contour. I don't like to use a super dark contour. I have a fair complexion. I feel like using a dark contour is just like, I don't know. I feel like it's too much for me. So I like to use kind of a lighter contour color, and then I just go over it with bronze to just make it a little more natural. So the one that I've been using that I really like is this Fenty Beauty Amber Matchsticks. The color is amber. And I don't know if you guys have contoured before, but it's pretty simple. This is a cream contour. There's also powder contours. I actually prefer cream. I feel like it's a little bit easier to work with. It's easier to blend. Powder, sometimes you put it down and then it's down and it's really hard to blend out, whereas cream contour, it's kind of glides over the skin, and so if you have a patch of it, it's easier to blend it out. So I've been using this Fenty Beauty one. As you can see, compared to my face, it's dark, but it's not that dark once you blend it out. Hold on, sorry, Otis wants to go out. Oh. Back in now? All right, guys. Little diva puppy. Okay, so contour. Now, I like to use more of like a cooler tone brown for contour. Warm tones, and you can tell when you look at them, warm tones sometimes can make you look more orangey, kind of end up looking like an Oompa Loompa, which you don't want to do. Or maybe you like that look, I don't know. It's up to you. So for contour, you just want to follow your cheekbone, which is right, mine's right here. And a lot of beauty bloggers that I follow have been doing it a little higher. I still follow my cheekbone. I'm not that advanced yet, so we're just gonna keep to the basics. And I just run it over a few times, just like that. And you're gonna do it from right at the top of your ear towards the corner of your mouth. Then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And then I do a couple, run it down my nose contour. And then I also do my jaw. So just right along the jawline here. Kind of just helps, like if you're a little flabby right here, it kind of just helps cut it, kind of sculpts it out. And so I run it from here. I run it just from right around here, right up under my ear, and I run it along my jaw. Sometimes I run it up a little higher, almost onto my face. Because you see on my face, you can see it there. And then you run it up under your chin. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. And the reason I run it up onto my like jaw a little bit, it just helps darken that area and it makes it look less like flabby, I guess. And I do have a little bit of flab there, but I mean, it's not that bad, honestly. And then I just dab a few dots along my forehead. I actually have a pretty big forehead. One of the bloggers I follow calls it a 5 head. So I have a pretty big forehead, and so to make it look like it's not as big, you just contour like this part here. So that's what I'm gonna do. And you can do whatever you want. Some people do dots, some people do lines. I'm a line girl. I like the lines. The only thing about the lines that I found is that they're kind of hard to blend out. Okay, so next step is to blend. So I've been using this Real Techniques buffing brush to buff, hence the name. These are actually great brushes, and I got them. They have them at Target. They have them at Walmart. They're really affordable and they're really soft, and they're actually really good brushes. So if you don't have the wallet if you don't have the money to spend on really expensive brushes, like, I don't know an expensive brush is. I don't own any of them. But if you don't have the money to spend on pricey brushes, these are a great alternative. Okay, so blending, you just want to blend in circles. Circles and wiper. And then jawline. I just do circles along my jaw. Okay, on the other side. So if you're wondering like what the point of contouring is, I mean, you definitely don't have to contour. I mean, if you're like a basic makeup person and all you want to do is throw on some eyes, contour is probably going to be too much for you. I just like it because I feel like it gives your face some definition. And so if you're into being creative with makeup and all that, it's definitely something that I would give a try if you haven't yet. I just really like it. And it probably doesn't even do anything for me, but I like to think it does. Okay, so we're all blended. See, and so you can see that colors, once it's blended, it's really subtle. It's really not an obvious color. And now I'm gonna blend my nose. And for my nose, I don't know, a lot of beauty bloggers use beauty blenders. I don't really like to do that. I feel like it just takes the product away. And so I've been using this Kat Von D brush. I actually don't know what it's really for. It has a number 40 on it. So it's Kat Von D 40 brush, and I just take it, kind of buff the color. Just buff it. It's kind of hard to tell in this light, but I swear it actually does. Contouring your nose, if you don't do any other contour your nose if you feel like it's too wide or whatever. I swear, you guys, it's life-changing. Okay, that's all done. So the next thing we're gonna do is set everything. And I'm going back in with that Kat Von D pressed powder. It looks like this. And for that, you can use anything. A lot of beauty bloggers use the sponge. I've tried that. I'm not a blender. I don't like to, I'm not a bake. I don't bake. I don't like to bake. I just like to set it. So you can use any brush for that. You can use a big brush like this. This is a Sonia Kashuk from Target. You can use something like this, which is a Morphe brush. This is a Morphe M581. I mean, you can literally use anything. I like to use something that's a little bit more condensed. I feel like it helps set the powder a little more. So this is a Morphe M536, and I actually have a couple brushes like this. I have another one that's from a brand called Luxie that looks pretty similar. It's just a little bit looser of a brush. There's not as many bristles. I also got this in like an Ipsy or a Birchbox, and I don't know anything about this brand, but I really like it. I've had it for a while. Okay, so you just take a little powder and then you just dab it in the places that you want to set. So for me, it's under my eyes. It's pretty much all the places that I put concealer. So up and down my nose, around my nose, on my chin, and then my forehead. I didn't put concealer on my forehead, but I do get oily here. And then I just take a little bit of leftover and I just kind of brush it everywhere. And then I just brush out the stuff that I patted. And then another thing that I do, because I have oily eyelids, is I do set over the shadow again. Got a little too much on there. Okay. So not everybody needs to use setting powder. If you have dry skin, you probably don't need to. It kind of just helps soak up some of the excess oils on your skin, and that's, with having oily skin, that's one of the reasons why I love it. So the next thing that I like to do, I like to go back in and bronze up my face. So right now I'm using this Tarte Park Avenue Princess, and I love it. It's kind of more on the cooler brown side, so it's not orangey. I really like this. It's the perfect amount of bronze, it's not too much. And I just take it on the places that I contoured, and on my cheekbone, or I'm sorry, on my cheek. And you don't want to go in too heavy. You want to have a light hand. And then I go along the top of my forehead here. And I actually do put a little bit more product here because I have a huge forehead. And I just like to shadow it a little bit so it doesn't look so insane. And if you ever have any harsh lines, you can just take a damp sponge, kind of blend some of it out. What are you thinking here? Okay. So, got like a healthy glow, but we're not too orange, not too bronze. Just the perfect amount. Okay, we're done with bronzer. You also want to make sure you get your neck. Some people do their ears if their ears are going to be exposed. I feel like that's weird. My ears are the same color as the rest of me. Okay, so I'm going to finish up the bottom of my eyes. I'm going to go back into my Rendezvous palette, and I'm going to take this Morphe M507 brush. It's kind of a small shadow brush. I really like it. It's just soft enough that it's just soft enough and the perfect size to get the right amount of color underneath your eyes. So I'm gonna go back in with this Style and Grace, this light pink color that I started with. And I'm just gonna get that on my brush, and I'm just gonna go underneath my eyes. I probably look so weird doing this. I don't have the precision to not stick the brush in my eye like these beauty bloggers. They're like really good at this stuff. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with this kind of pencil brush from Morphe. It doesn't have a product number, I'm sorry, it was part of that promo pack that I got. And I'm gonna go into this pink Shake It Off color. And then I'm just gonna lightly run that under my eye as well, kind of more on the outside. Okay, now the other eye. I'm gonna take that same brush and I'm gonna dip into this kind of dark terracotta color down here, the Textual. I'm gonna go in with that same brush, and again on the outer corner of my eye, because I'm gonna go in with that sparkly color on the inside. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back in with that sparkly color that I used on my eyelid. And and that one's called Our Secret. And I'm just gonna run it, oops. I'm just gonna run it right into this area. But I gotta zoom you out for that, sorry. Just gonna go in right there. about makeup is there's just really no rules. You can do whatever you want. And it might look crazy, but if that's the way you like it, then who cares, you know? Okay. So I've got that on there. I love it. Looks so good. Okay. The last thing I'm gonna do for my eyes is I'm just gonna put a little shimmer here in the middle. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go in this same ColourPop Rendezvous palette. There's a sparkly color right here. It's kind of a shimmery color. It's called My Treat. So I'm gonna go in with that. And I'm taking, I just like to use these little two-headed brushes. They come in all the Naked palettes from Urban Decay. So this came in one of them, I'm not sure. They all look the same. So I'm gonna take that on the smaller end, and I'm just gonna dab it in there. And then you just tap it in the corner. Okay. Just adds a little dimension to the eye. Then I'm gonna just take a little bit more of it, just lightly, on my brow bone here. Other side. You really don't need a ton of product up here. It's just for like a little, it's like where the light would hit, you know? You just want it to have a little shine. And again, that was My Treat. Okay, so now we're pretty much done with the eyes, and we're just gonna finish off the face. And so the next thing that I do is blush. And I know a lot of people aren't huge fans of blush. I love it. I just think it gives your face some life. And I'm gonna go into this Tarte blush palette. I don't even remember when I got this. It's called the Color Wheel. I'm obsessed with it. It literally has 10 blush colors in it. And there's ones for all different skin tones and times of year. It's awesome. So I'm gonna go into this, and I'm gonna take this one here. It's called Iconic. And I'm just gonna take a little bit on this Sonia Kashuk brush. It doesn't have a style number or anything. It's just kind of like a foundation brush, I think. Take that on my cheeks and just run it back a little bit. And then I just take a little on my forehead, a little on my chin, a little on my nose. See, just gives you a little life. We're almost done. Okay, so I have kind of recently become the highlight queen. And I'm kind of a highlight snob. I have been trying all kinds of different highlighters, and I'm pretty picky. Like, I've just found some that I don't really care for. Otis, come here, buddy. Come on. What's this? What's this? You guys, this is my life every day. He's never happy. Come on. You were just out there and you didn't want to be out there. Come on. Okay. So something that I've actually learned recently about highlighting is layering. And this is maybe my new favorite makeup trick. So I bought this Benefit Watts Up highlighter months ago. I'm not a huge fan of it by itself. It's just weird because it's creamy. I'm not a huge fan of cream highlighters. So it's creamy. You can't really see it in this light, guys. I'm sorry. And it has a good glow to it, but cream highlighter is so hard to blend, especially on top of makeup that you've already put on. So I've been taking this as almost like a highlighter foundation, and I've just been running it kind of like right along here, just in the corner. And then same thing on this side. my facial expressions. And then I just take my beauty blender and kind of like dab it in just to blend it, because if the lighting was good, you'd be able to tell like it has a line because it has a shape. So I take that as my start, and then I don't know how much you guys know about highlighters. Anastasia actually has some really good ones. Those are really the only ones that I have that I like. I actually just discovered Artist Couture. They make the most amazing highlighters. This one, so they do have pressed highlighters. I would recommend those, like, if you're a beginner with makeup. This is a powder highlighter, and a little bit goes a long, long way, especially with Artist Couture. They have really, really good products. And so I like to take, I just bought this Morphe M510 brush, and this is what I've been using for highlighter, and I love it. I also have this Anastasia A23. It's kind of like a miniature fan brush. This one's pretty good too. And then every once in a while, oh my God, sorry. Otis, no. That's a decoration. You don't get to eat that. Just leave everything alone. Be happy. He's never satisfied, guys. You're so naughty. The other brush that I've been using for highlighter is this Sephora brush. I thought it said, oh yeah, it has highlight and illuminator on it. I also got this in like a sample pack from, there's the thing, guys. If you order makeup online, they literally will send you gobs of sample stuff. Like, you just have to like add it to your bag. If you spend $25, you get samples all the time. And so it's pretty easy to do. You buy one makeup palette. I mean, this thing was $50, I think, 50 or 40. So all you have to do is buy one makeup palette and you get a free product. So anyway, I highly recommend buying online. Go into the store, find out what you like, go home and order it online. Okay, so I'm using this Artist Couture powder highlighter, loose powder highlighter. And you literally barely, like, this has way too much on it. You can't tell, but you barely need anything. A little bit goes a long way. And then I kind of just lightly dust it back and forth all over my cheek. Look at that. It's amazing. Okay. Other side. Okay. Kind of hard to tell in this light, but I swear, you guys, this stuff is the best. Okay, and then like I said, I'm a highlight fiend, so I do it up here on my forehead. It's all places that the light would naturally hit. Like if you were out in the sun and you actually were like sweating or had oily skin like me, but like beautiful. So I do my chin, my Cupid's bow, my nose, tip of my nose, bridge of my nose. We're good. We're good, guys. And there's so many different highlighters out there. I mean, there's highlighters that just look shiny. There's ones that make you look wet and dewy. I like this one because it's kind of a combination of both. Look at that. Oh, so good. Oh my gosh. Odie, come here. Come here, bud. Sorry, guys. Puppy is a distraction. Okay, so we're almost done. So now I'm just gonna set my skin. Urban Decay has the best setting sprays out on the market. Swear, these are the best. I use all of them, but my everyday go-to sprays that I always use, I use the D-Slick. I don't know if it works or not. I have no idea, but I feel like it does. So I use this, and then I use the All-Nighter setting spray. And this stuff, if you don't have oily skin, you can use all by itself. It's awesome. it actually works. Your makeup stays in place. So, de-slick. I just do one spritz across my face. I feel like you don't really need more than that. Let it dry down. I need a fan. So I also got these sparkly liquid eyeshadows. These are kind of like all the rage lately, and I've been dying to try them. So maybe one of these days I'll do a makeup look. Maybe tomorrow. Mitch and I are going on a date night tomorrow, so maybe I'll do like sparkly smoky eye or something. Okay, so now that that's dried down, I'm gonna do the all-nighter setting spray. Do that one all the way across the face and let it dry down. I do not use an eyelash curler, and I don't generally use fake lashes. I might use them for my date night. We'll see, we'll see. My only thing is I have a really small face, I have a really small head, and the lashes are humongous. All fake lashes, you guys. I mean, even on my wedding day, I had really like natural small fake lashes, and they just seemed so big on me. It's like I have bugs on my eyes or something. So I feel like with the right makeup, they can look really nice, but I just don't use them, so they feel really big on me. So anyway, I'm just gonna do regular mascara for this, no lashes. So I like to do an eyelash kind of like a primer. So they all are white. Not all the bottles are white, but the primers are white. So if you've never used one before, it's literally white mascara. And this one's Dior. Kind of broke the bank on it a little bit, but I just really like it. I like lash primer because I feel like it's a good prep for mascara. It just really pulls all your lashes out, separates them. It just primes them for mascara. So I really like this stuff. There are definitely cheaper ones out there on the market. I just am trying this Dior one because it was highly rated on Sephora. So, you know, test out different ones, see what you like. I'm pretty sure Tarte has one. They're a little bit more of affordable price point. They're also cruelty free, and they have really good products. That's the one that I was using before I got this one, but that one, you know, dried out, got old. And I actually don't wait for this to dry down because I feel like I have a harder time getting my mascara on after it's dry. It just gets sticky and clumpy. You know how it is. So I only let it dry for like a second. God. You guys, this puppy, I swear. I only let it dry for like a second, and then I go in with my mascara. And I'm also kind of a mascara fiend. I literally have like 5 in rotation, but right now I'm using the NARS Climax. Looks like this. You guys, it's so good. Mascara, not all mascaras are created equal. This one is really good. The Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, that one's also really good. And you know, it's really all about the wand. Like, do you see how fluffy this wand is? That's gonna give you good mascara. The mascaras that have a really spindly wand and looks like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree kind of, those are not very good. Your lashes tend to clump together, and it actually looks like you have spiders on your eyes. So I highly recommend these like bushy mascaras. All right. And I think it's better too, like these bushier brushes, they don't get like clumpy with product, and so when you put them on your lashes, they don't like glom on there. It just lays really nicely. Okay, why do we make weird faces when we put makeup on? I just found myself going. And I'm actually not gonna put lips on tonight because I'm going to have a glass of wine and cook some dinner. But I might put a lip on after and then take a picture for you guys, just so you can see like a final look. I just, you know, I don't like to draw attention to my lips because I don't really have them. Like, if I could fill them, well, they would be there. But my husband doesn't like that, so I have to respect that it's not just me in this relationship, it's both of us. So I normally do 2 layers of mascara, but for the sake of time, I'm only gonna do the one. And let's get in some better light, guys. So this is the finished look. It's glowy, it's holiday red, I love it. I hope I didn't bore you guys to tears with this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'm gonna post a picture of this look and let me know. Actually, I think you can comment on these, so let me know if you liked it and if you wanna see more. Thanks, guys.